By George, I think I've got it.
Hybrothetical Thinking.
I saw that Bigfoot walking across the screen and I thought to myself, wow, they are real.
I ask us all, is that really reasonable?
Hypothetical Thinking.
My personal belief is that there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone.
I'll show you a little of the evidence for it.
Hypothetical Thinking.
Researchers at Stanford University School of Medicine have pioneered a cancer vaccine that eliminated all traces of cancer in mice.
You could find evidence of that, my friends. You could change the world.
Hybrothetical Thinking, a podcast for the hypothetical thinker.
Greetings, travelers, and welcome to Hybrothetical Thinking, a semi-informative podcast that explores the journey from probability to possibility. Hi, my name is Nick Floyd, and I'm joined by my co-hosts,
Taylorius Nelsonia Maximus.
Johnny Clark.
Where'd you get that name from, bub?
I made that shit up all by myself, actually.
It was given to me by my parents.
Well, actually, I say I made it up. That is an adaptation. What movie am I thinking of here?
Is it that Russell Crowe picture?
That's a Russell Crowe flick.
Yeah.
Gladiator.
Gladiator, there we
Gladiator.
go. That's from the movie Gladiator. Here's the line. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, defenders of the armies of the North. I will avenge your life in this life or the next. I will avenge something in this life.
That
or
was
the next.
amazing. You made that
I will
your
avenge
name.
my life. Wait, I will avenge my wife's life? I don't know. Something. I'm going to avenge
That
something
would
in
make
this life
sense.
or
They
the
killed
next.
his wife. Killed.
They killed his wife
The
and
Gladiator
child.
shot was... Okay, move on.
Okay, so I'm going to be honest. I don't get emotional during movies, like, ever. But Gladiator gets me every single time.
Every time?
Is it the wife
Every
scene where
time.
she dies?
That does as well. I think it's the music.
Oh, it's totally the music.
Yeah, I think it's the music. It's so emotional. It makes you be like, dude, I could be a gladiator. I could have a slain wife that I could avenge.
Yeah, I think it's the action scenes for me.
I'm never.
I relate to this character.
I relate to this guy who kills other big ass gladiators and leads
tigers.
armies. Yeah,
Yeah.
leads the armies of the North.
I mean,
I would defend the armies of the Atlanta, Georgia, though. ATLU, what?
up.
I
you know who
not
Johnny
to date
would
this
have...
episode, but I think we won 5-0 tonight. ATLU, what?
Yeah.
Oh, what? You know who Johnny would defend?
Grand Haven, Michigan.
Grand Haven, Michigan.
Shout out to the
.com.
one of the happiest seashore.
Shut up!
Should we go ahead and get GrandHavenMichigan.com? And just because it's obviously going to be hit.
Hang on a minute.
after these
At
podcasts.
Grand Haven, I have them
Grand
following on my
Haven.
Instagram and like Snapchat. They posted me multiple times. They featured my images. So I'm sure I could call some strings.
Grand Haven, Michigan. You could call some strings.
I could.
Hello, strings. This is Johnny. Hi, friend.
It's like a cello.
GrandHavenMichigan.com is for sale, and you can buy it now for $2,095.
Damn, Grand Haven.
Let's do it.
You seriously selling your site for that much money?
That's a lot. But really, in theory, it's not that much.
No,
Who's
it's not.
Grand Haven, Michigan going to sell it to?
Us?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest.
Is there another Grand Haven, Michigan?
No.
Nope.
No, there
Just
can't be.
Grand Haven,
There's a lot of
Michigan.
Haven,
There will never
Michigan.
be.
There's a lot of havens.
Okay.
Like
many
there's South Haven, and they're all pure cities.
So
there's
if there was
water.
a city just called Haven, Michigan, then they could still use it and be like, our city is grand.
Probably.
Yeah, dope-ass Haven, Michigan.
Dope-ass.
We're grand as hell.
So if you guys don't know already, the way this works is that Taylor and myself will do the research for our weekly episodes, and Johnny, little Johnny, goes into every episode completely blind, meaning he has no idea what we're covering each week, which is crazy and always results in sometimes interesting topic discussions, sometimes confusing topic discussions, but always highbrow topic discussions.
Yeah. That's actually a very good way to put it.
That's a fact. So we're going to dive in. Instead of jumping into some news and things like that, what we're going to do is we're actually going to take time because Taylor is going to run with this episode. We're going to take time real quick, and we're going to find out what the definition of hypothetical really means.
I've never even
Nick,
knew
what
this
in the world is
until
a hypothetical?
Hypothetical is an adjective. It means of, based on, or serving a hypothesis, or supposed but not necessarily real or true. Supposed.
I think is it not pronounced hypothesis?
Hypothetical.
Hypothesis?
That's a hypothesis.
That's a hypothesis.
That's a dinosaur. That's a dinosaur that it's carnivorous.
I didn't even try to say that word. It just came out of my mouth. So yeah,
Awesome.
so there you have it.
So what that is just like a theory of ideas that you are trying to quantify?
Yes, used in a sentence, she described a hypothetical case to clarify her point.
Oh.
Okay. So then a
it's a lawyer.
hybrothetical is like we use these hypothetical cases to cloud our point.
Yeah, we're trying to make it more difficult to understand.
The last 3 episodes have been proving points that, yeah, we just keep complicating already complicated points. So anyway, so Taylor, you're taking it over. You're taking us on a different, unique, interesting journey today.
This was going to be unique. It's going to be lighthearted. Not, we're trying not to get too deep into this one. It's just some fun facts, and
Tight.
just going to pick one central point and then a couple things that kind of surround that point.
I dig that.
So what spawned this idea over the past couple weeks? I have revisited some movies from an actor that I really enjoyed as a child. As a young dude, as a young bro, I really enjoyed this guy's acting. I felt like everyone else at the time did. It's like one of those Nickelback Creed situations where everybody fucking liked it. You're a liar if you say you didn't. But then now looking back, everyone's like, yeah, that was the dumbest shit ever. No way I ever listened to that. No way I ever watched that. Yeah, right. This is one of those situations. So.
That's a good exposition right there.
Oh, wait, are we going to get a reveal of who it is?
Yeah, because I'm.
Oh, you'll get a reveal of who it is.
on the edge
I
of
think
my
the
seat.
listeners should know after this first little description of this first little piece of reading that I
Do you think
have.
I'll understand what it is?
I don't know, Johnny. I really hope.
I really hope you.
You don't sound too confident. We just
I'm
talked
not
about
confident.
confidence, and you're like, well, I really hope you know.
You confident in your
I was
opinion,
confident
not
in
me.
my hope.
Yeah, not me, which is fine.
So only used twice for its original intended purposes as a closed system experiment, once from 1991 to 1993, and then the second time from March to September of 1994. Both attempts, though heavily publicized, ran into problems including low amounts of food and oxygen, die-offs of many animals and plants included in the experiment, group dynamic tensions among the resident crew, outside politics and power struggle over management and the direction of the project. This project was called Biosphere 2.
It's been a fucking week, and you're still on Pauly Shore?
It's, what am I, 32? I've been on Pauly Shore since like 1994, dude. That's like 20-something years of my life. So, Johnny, I know all the listeners understand, as Nick understands, we're talking about Pauly Shore and the movie Biodome.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
You've never seen the movie
You know
Biodome?
what? You know what's really fascinating? I remember a situation. We were at a convention, and you guys were talking about Biodome, and you showed me a picture of, I think it's 2 dudes. I'm pretty sure it's 2 dudes.
Yeah, it's 2 dudes.
And you were like, "Oh, you know these guys, right?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." And we had a huge not argument, but like a discussion on why I've never seen this movie. But I'm sure like if you gave me more like information on Pauly, is his real name Pauly? It's a guy, right?
Pauly. Yeah, it's Pauly.
Pauly. Is it
Pauly
A-U?
Shore. Yeah.
Not Pauly.
It's Pauly.
Pauly wants a
Pauly.
cracker.
Like
I mean, he's not a bird, Johnny.
It's Pauly.
He's Pauly Shore. Why don't you hit Johnny with a little synopsis
Yeah.
of Biodome?
So, IMDb describes Biodome. It's a PG-13 rating, 1 hour, 28-minute comedy. It was released January 12th, 1996. It's about 2 moronic best friends that get themselves locked inside of a biodome,
Naturally.
a science experiment along with a group of environmental scientists for 1 year.
Wait, they lock themselves in there or they get locked in?
They accidentally get locked in.
They
For a
accidentally-
year.
Here's the plot of the movie. These 2 stoner dudes, they're trying to impress their girlfriends. They're trying to get... Their girlfriends are really environmentally friendly.
Yeah.
This is 1996.
Hippies?
People are trying... Yeah, it's a hippie resurgence
Smoking
here.
the herb,
Very,
man.
very similar to like the modern day vegan, if you will.
Very
Don't wanna
much
interrupt
so.
you, but
I mean,
yeah.
this movie is a lot more timely.
The
and
2
timeless.
girlfriends... I would imagine the girlfriends were vegans.
Yeah, absolutely.
I imagine they're vegans. I can't remember off the top of my head who the girlfriends were, but I remember they were pretty smoking hot. And I remember they're pretty accomplished actresses that you see in other stuff.
Yeah,
I just
they've
can't
been in
remember off
stuff.
the top of my head.
I might know them more than I know these Pauly Shore.
Maybe
Regardless.
so. Maybe so.
Well, that's not what it's about. So these guys get locked in this
Yeah,
biodome
basically,
for a
these guys,
year.
they've got to impress their girlfriends somehow. They're not sure what they're going to do.
Wait, they impress their girlfriends by getting locked in a biodome for you. By the end of getting
Keep
out
in
of this...
mind, this is an accident. They get locked in on accident.
Okay. That wasn't their intention.
It was not their intention.
Awesome.
So they're driving along the road, and they see this shopping mall, what they think is a shopping mall, a really elaborate-looking structure, and they got to take a whiz. So they're like, let's pull over here at this mall and take a whiz. They pull over, they wander into some, back door or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Just so happens that this is like the launch day of this 1 year long experiment into this biodiverse dome. And what is happening is there's a group of scientists that are going to be sealed inside of this dome for 1 year. Nothing goes in, nothing comes out. There's all these different ecosystems in the dome. And they basically, it's science experiments.
It's to like test nature and its parameters to figure out like the whatever like what I'm trying to say is like they're trying to test what happens in nature on a
smaller scale, on a really locked in scale. Like the goal is to do this in space.
Oh,
this is like colonizing space experiment. You know, like how can we terraform shit?
Yeah.
You know, in a closed, completely sealed environment
where they're taking out all the factors and basically making it a control situation.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And they're kind of planning on the factors.
So that's their plan, and these guys go into this mall thinking it's.
Yeah, they just kind of wander in the door thinking that they're about to use the bathroom. Yeah, moments after they walk in, they get locked in.
Yeah,
and it's like a computer-based thing where the doors will not unlock for a full year.
There's a whole like scene where they're like, "Oh, I can't get out." Essentially,
yeah. Basically, they're pounding on the door. Everyone's looking at them. What the fuck are these guys doing in here?
Oh,
you know. So they get locked in on accident, and so they spend this whole year.
We're recreating the entire plot.
There's
got to be somebody out there who has no idea what this movie is. I can't be the only person.
I hope not, dude. I hope not.
Well, when did this movie come out again?
1996.
1996, January 12th.
I was born 1996.
I used to watch it all the time.
Right.
You want to hear some bullshit about this movie?
What?
This is an amazing movie. 5% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's Pauly Shore, though. I think Pauly the critics weren't a fan of Pauly.
It's bullshit.
Furthermore,
what's crazy is he was the most popular comedian at the time.
Right. Well, Adam Sandler was the most popular comedian, but the critics shit all over his movies, too.
I like Adam
For
Sandler.
good reason.
Right.
I don't know what they say about Happy Gilmore. It's probably got like a 100 out of 100 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Check
this shit
Happy
out.
Gilmore, Billy Madison. Those
Let's
are great
Mandela
movies.
effect this right now.
Right there on the left, and then sure enough, PPY.
Happy Gilmore. 60%.
Okay, 60%.
So
still not satisfied with that.
5%. That's a good reason why I've not seen this movie. It came out when I was born, and it had bad ratings. So move on. So there.
Did you see Happy Gilmore?
Like 100 times.
Yeah, it also came out the year you were born. So, how do they say in France? Suck it.
Suck it.
Oh, sucez ma bite. That's my dick in French.
Why do you need to bring it there?
Because you said it. Okay,
I didn't say the full phrase.
All right, well.
So, starring in tandem with Pauly Shore is Alec Baldwin in this movie. Alec Baldwin then told his brother Stephen Baldwin that doing this movie could be the single most career-ending decision he could possibly make.
Wow.
Like, what? Is this not the best movie he ever made? And he made some good movies, but
I feel like
a woman.
Maybe it goes deeper. Like maybe the concept of a parody film of a biosphere it kind of was going to cause controversy. I mean, when was the first biosphere?
So
Can you give me that date again?
This is kind of weird. So we've got the first biosphere is Mother Earth. It's our planet.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first biosphere
that we know of.
So
really?
Biosphere that I was talking about, built in Oracle, Arizona, is called Biosphere 2.
Ah.
And it is the largest of its kind, the largest closed ecosystem on the planet, aside from the planet. And it's huge. But the main goal here is obviously to test, how these different environments are gonna work in a closed space.
Yeah.
But one of the things that really came out of it was how do these people react with each other? Yeah, in this tiny closed off
it's
space.
Not only it's a nature like finding out, but it's like a psychological test. Of how
that's what it turns into.
What year was it? So we can close because I want to close this biodome door because we're knowing us. We're probably going to spend an hour talking about the deep diving into biodome.
Rightfully so. So it was built for the first experiment was from 1991 and 1993, and then the second experiment was in 1994.
So it was like on the heels of Biodome in 96. The
Biodome experiment was, totally done.
Yeah.
And then this kind of took over, I guess knowing these experiments happen. It's a pretty cool concept for a movie, if you ask me. Yeah. I think it's a cool concept in general, even if, Pauly Shore didn't slay it.
The concept was good, the execution was not.
But
the execution was insanely good.
But as far as like the career-ending decision with the Baldwin fella, I feel like on the heels of that, it was probably a bad decision to poke fun at something that was so costly.
Yeah.
To probably cost a lot of money. And also, that it was an attempt to make advancements to fix the future of the human race on a planet that could die.
That's true.
Essentially.
That's a very good point. And while it was considered a disaster, like these experiments, they couldn't even follow through with the experiments like they wanted. The point was to completely lock this place down for 2 years.
Yeah.
And like they couldn't do that. Like they falsified the experiment like right from the get-go. They're letting shit in, they're letting shit out, they're modifying the oxygen, modifying the water.
Contaminating this experiment.
They're contaminating, right from the get-go.
Sounds like Pauly Shore's
it's pretty
career.
much just thrown the fuck out. Pauly Shore's career is riddled with amazing movies.
Yeah, that you let the success in, you let it out, and then you just wind up. I don't know. Where is Pauly Shore right now?
Man, I watched a special on him not too long ago, and he was doing like stand-up comedy tour, and it was pretty cool. But it wasn't doing the kind of clubs that Pauly Shore in 1997 would have done.
Yeah,
he's doing small bars and whatnot.
Right.
But you see the way these people react to Pauly Shore, and they clearly are like, man, I loved Pauly Shore back in the day. I still love him. I'm going to show him the respect that he deserves.
Probably what that big truck, like that monster truck guy.
Oh,
Bob
yeah.
Chandler.
Yeah, it's
Bob
probably
Chandler.
people were really into that as well. I'm sure that's why they were like, oh, I'm really into this. Like,
Well, they give respect to one of the guys who pioneered the sport, of course.
yeah, that makes sense.
Sure.
So
But
Pauly Shore pioneered.
yeah, think about
Stoner
these experiments. They came and went. I never heard about them. Sure, I was a little kid, but I never heard about them. Biodome comes out, and all these stoner kids who could be on the verge of changing their life because they got a vegan girlfriend and they want to impress that vegan girlfriend. They want to be better with the environment, better with animals, better with everything. I think Biodome is like a logical way to show this generation, these experiments exist. This is out there. It's happening. Think about it a little bit.
Right.
You know?
So what you're saying is you're flipping it around a little bit, and instead of commercializing, I'm getting ahead of myself. Instead of satirizing and parroting a solid attempt at technological and societal advancement, what it's doing is it's commercializing it and creating more acceptance and interest in the idea.
Right.
Because we should be doing that shit now. And
Right.
we're not
This is the
doing
time.
it
I mean,
now.
we're really talking about trying to terraform like Mars and whatnot.
Right.
Like, why wouldn't they be consistently working on this shit on a consistent basis? People are out there that have autonomous homes. Out there in the desert, Arizona, where actually this is. It's it's a pretty popular concept for autonomous homes that rely on their own water, their own power, their own waste management. They grow their own food, their own greenhouse.
They're
totally autonomous.
Surviving.
Yeah, basically the same thing as this biodome, but you take out this one element, which is a group of people who need to work together as a team.
And they can't do it.
Yeah, that's when the people come together, they form these factions. Like it says in here, Biosphere 2, they ended up forming 2 factions. They all went in there together with a common goal, and eventually they split into factions where best friends hated each other.
Yeah.
But when you can't tell me that a bunch of scientists gathered around a room and they were like, all right, so we got this great idea. We're going to call it Biosphere 2. All right. Not sure if they had the name right out of the gate, but in my version of the story, they did.
It's not a sphere.
Yeah.
It's a dome.
It's a dome.
But
it is a closed circular system. So I get it. Whatever.
It makes sense. Yeah. But you can't tell me that these brilliant scientists got in a room and go, okay, what's the problem with our environment here? Oh, people keep fucking it up, right? They're killing squirrels, they're fucking in the tents,
raccoons,
they're pollinating the world with whatever it is they're doing,
babies,
and they're ruining the ozone layer. What's the problem here? It's people. People are the problem.
People are the problem.
So let's take this biosphere and put the problem in it.
That's
the fucking problem right there.
That's the problem. The problem is the problem.
The problem
Put the problem in the problem, and that's a problem.
So why on earth is this a human experiment, or is this an experiment in that we can actually colonize another planet,
right,
or help our own? And I think that's the issue: is that these scientists thought they were brilliant. Really, they were just creating a dumb fucking idea.
Oh my God.
By taking the same thing that's the problem and just putting it under a dome and trapping it in there for a year or 2 years or whatever.
But that's all about the scientific experiment. The scientific, what's it called? Hypothesis, like the
hypothesis.
No, it's like the the scientific method,
Hypothesis.
where you have an idea and you have to test that idea to make sure that it's real. And
Right.
any scientist can say, "Oh yeah, humans are fucking up the world,"
Right.
but by proving in a dome, actually, they're not taking out all the controls. They're doing a lot of things that are not under the control. But by putting these humans in there and saying, "This is the proof. This is the hypothesis that I have, and this is the experiment I'm doing," they can prove that. I think that was their goal.
I hope they like manipulated it. Like they got them all into the dome, and they're like, day 3, we got Randy. Randy's laying down.
It's a narration.
We're gonna sneak in when they're sleeping, and we're gonna make him think that Susan took his ham and cheese sandwich.
But no, it was that Grady fucking raccoon Randy.
Damn it, Randy.
Well, then Randy wakes up, and he's like, "Where's my ham and cheese sandwich, Susan? I bet that shit was you. I saw you looking at it last night. I know you wanted my ham and cheese sandwich.
It wasn't me.
We're going to have a few words, Susan." Then he kills her. Just like that. Takes her out. Down from 14 scientists, 13 scientists. And that is just the third day in this year, 2 year, 3 year.
This seems a lot
Exactly.
like the
Lord of the Flies?
that movie with Katniss Everdeen. Oh my gosh.
The Hunger Games.
The Hunger
fuck is
Games.
that?
Yeah. What?
Who the fuck is that?
Katniss Everdeen?
Kit Kat Everdeen.
Isn't
You ever
it,
heard of it?
like Jennifer Lawrence?
Oh, her.
Jennifer
Kit
Lawrence.
Kat Everdeen.
Jennifer Lawrence, but
Those movies are stupid.
well, it's fine. But like, that's
Let's
just
see what its
narrated.
Rotten
There's like
Tomatoes
this whole, it's
score
like a
is.
whole like,
Fucking point 2.
So here's my question: is this episode about Biodome?
It's a.
Yeah, roughly. I mean, it's the stronghold.
It's the
Biodome
hypothetical.
is the point that we're just these little branches. They offshoot. How about another little offshoot? A little fun fact
I'm into that.
about Biodome. First appearance of all time. Tenacious D.
What?
Yeah,
Like-
they're
like-
playing
yeah,
one of
buddy.
the there's a scene where they're having
Jack
a rally, and Jack Black and Kyle Gass are playing.
that actually does blow my mind.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
it
his
is.
first. We said cameo. You said?
Yeah, it's their first live performance ever. That's the first time they were ever seen as Tenacious D, as a duo, as anything. That was the first
Okay.
time.
Now that fact by itself makes me surprised. I have not seen Biodome.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
oddly
literally
enough.
like 8 seconds of them.
Oh.
So this is what's fucking crazy. This also makes no sense. So we may have just
Perfect for this podcast.
I got to fact check this Wikipedia bullshit. It says here, so it must mean that it was their first television or movie appearance, because
Yeah.
it also says in 1995 they supported the band Tool on their California leg of their tour. That is mind blowing.
What? Did Tool give
Tool.
Tenacious D a chance?
I mean, Tool is breaking boundaries all over the microcosms. It makes sense. It makes sense.
I don't see anything when I'm checking the Google machine. So,
my paper
So
here.
the way that Black got this gig, he actually attended UCLA with the director Jason Blum, the director of the movie, Jason
Okay.
Blum.
Okay.
He got the movie Black. He got the gig as director of Biodome. Hired Black and Gas. Performed the song in the film. Awesome, great. They're the shit.
That's pretty tight, actually. I feel like the more and more, and this is just a side thing I wanted to bring up, the more and more I see Jack Black in films, I just saw him in a trailer recently where he's throwing fire. Did you see that, Nick? Where Jack
What?
Black is throwing fire in a trailer.
oh yeah,
I
What's it
have not
called?
it's
The
like
Clocks.
the house that clocks and time and
Yeah, like
Oh, I thought he was going to be like a new DC character.
he
or
was.
something.
Yeah.
Shazam!
What? Oh shoot!
It sounds like he's the flame, the Human Torch from Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
No, I was saying like Jack Black. He was in Jumanji, like the new Jumanji with like, and that was
Fucking crushed it.
dude. He
Dude,
deserved
Jumanji,
an Oscar
yeah.
for sure.
Nailed it.
Like
Dude,
all the dick
somebody
jokes in that.
Give him an award. That
Can
was
we
one of the
just-
single
hang
greatest
on, can
acting
we
jobs I've ever
backtrack?
seen.
No, I want
3 seconds, and can we just focus on the fact that Johnny just said the words "Jack Black deserves an Oscar" and then followed it with, "Do you know how many dick jokes are in that movie?"
Dude, but there's so it's
the
comedy.
threshold
It's a
for
comedy.
Oscar-winning
No.
performances are how many dick jokes, according to Johnny.
And I'm
in
pretty
a
sure that
movie.
number is 0.
There's no criteria for
win.
dick jokes. What I'm saying is that comedy. I would say that this Jumanji was a comedy, unlike the first Jumanji, which is like more like just like a.
It was a
It's
family.
a fun flick. Yeah, family,
Okay.
kids movie.
This Jumanji was not.
Comma-venture.
There was a lot of dick
Comma-venture,
jokes.
yeah.
What I'm saying is that he sold that so well. I've never seen Jack Black like sell a character so freaking well. I laughed so hard.
Was that your first Jack Black movie you've seen? Because he sells everything.
that was
There is
insane.
no bad Jack Black role anywhere
I'm
ever.
not saying there's bad. I'm saying he deserved an Oscar for that.
He does, and I agree with you with that.
I agree 100%.
Not because
there-
of the dick jokes. I'm saying he.
We'll start a
slayed it.
petition. We'll start a petition, and we'll send it off to Grammy.com. I don't,
He played a
awards.com.
teenage
I don't know.
girl.
The Academy?
Academies.
Yeah.
We'll send it to an academy.
A grown ass man played a teenage like like popular girl in high school.
Yeah.
That is difficult by itself. And it's Jack Black.
And he pulled off that fucking outfit.
I'm pretty sure that
He
happened.
pulled off that outfit.
He pulled it
He
off.
pulled
Happened in
those cargo
Freaky Friday
pants.
too.
What?
Did happen in Freaky Friday.
Wait, he wasn't in Freaky Friday. wait.
Freaky Friday. Oddly enough,
was
I
in-
was doing some research earlier today. Freaky Friday came up twice in my research today.
That's
Yeah.
pretty freaky.
Did you just
Really
get
weird.
third timed Freaky Friday?
Dude, this is weird. I'm telling you,
I love
since
that
that
movie,
Mandela podcast a while back, like everything, like a lot of coincidences have been happening in my life.
Yeah.
A lot of coincidences.
The whole thing is wild.
Coincidine.
Let's go back to this biosphere.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry about that.
It's very interesting. And I still can't wrap my head around the fact that these smart ass dudes came up with this idea. It doesn't make sense. Like,
It seems like a good starting point. Like, build this giant thing, closed system. That seems like a cool idea. But then to not really follow through with the like most basic points of it is that it's a closed system.
All of the science out of
That's
it.
just all the science is just thrown out the window.
but maybe
like a-
that's the whole concept, is that like they're trying to prove a point that the problem is that all this stuff can sustain life on its own. The problem is
Yeah,
people.
people come in and they wreck it up. They mess up the balance, man.
And that's the
But they're literally doing that. They're literally changing the parameters of this experiment, which essentially they're fucking up. The humans fucking up the nature dome. That's what you're just saying.
yeah.
So really, the scientists who are trying to prove that humans fuck up nature are fucking up the nature test. You know what I'm saying?
Well, some of the problems
I don't
also
say I
were
don't follow you.
related to them
I wanna repeat that.
directly fucking it up.
Well,
You
no,
know?
but by definition, if they change the parameters of a experiment midway through, that scientific method it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It's whack.
You can't like have a hypothesis for like your goal, change the parameters, and still call it good.
What the fuck kind of siren is that right now? Do you guys hear that?
I was talking. I can't hear anything when I'm talking. Just
Someone moaning.
It was like whoop 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 whoop.
Someone's in the car with a megaphone.
Lasers outside of our window
Talk
right
about biodome. What is this? We gotta stop the shit.
Guys, this is it. This is the moment they invade. April. What is it? April. It's April, and they're coming.
Open the fucking door. We're coming in.
Is that the aliens? Sir, can you give me 15 minutes?
Chew on this shit for 1 second. What if Biodome, the script, was actually intended to be Bill and Ted 3? How dope would that have been?
I've not seen that movie either.
Oh, man, you haven't seen any of the Bill and Ted's?
Bill and Ted's great.
Excellent adventure.
Oh, dude, Raja Asa, no, not seen it. But explain to me, as somebody who's uneducated in both these movies, what do you mean?
Oh, the script, there was a rumor, actually, that
They're
this
pretty
script...
cut and dry.
Yeah, let him in. So it was rumored that the script for Biodome was originally the script for Bill and Ted 3.
Oh,
And Keanu and
Keanu Reeves in that
and
movie?
Alex Winter didn't want to do it.
it's crazy that some of these actors that I am not in love with, but I love, it's just as people like Jack
Yeah.
Black and Keanu. I've not seen these movies.
Oh, man.
Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted is one of
these are my
Keanu's
Shazam.
like,
Keanu Reeves.
These are
and
my
you-
Shazams.
and you haven't seen. No, it's not because
For me,
because Shazam doesn't exist.
well, I
Yeah, it
guess
does.
it's movie.
Bill and Ted. If you love Keanu and you haven't seen Bill and Ted, you're not a Keanu
I've
fan.
been
they're
missing out.
VHS.
You've definitely been missing out.
I
DVDs,
love
Blu-rays,
Point Break. You
probably
cannot
laser
tell me
discs.
what.
It's in all forms of media.
I'm sure
Bill and Ted
It has
exists,
one
so-
of the greatest soundtracks of all time.
you can't tell me.
In time, we'll be dancing in the streets of love.
I thought you were talking about White Stallions.
Also a great song.
White Stallion. Oh, wait, no, Wild Stallions. White Stallions. What's the name of their band?
What's the other one?
Guys,
What,
do
in
not
the
look
ba-
at me. I have no idea what the
What's
fuck's
the-
going on.
Do you wanna play?
I don't know, Socrates. Socrates.
You can't tell me I don't like Keanu Reeves. I am in love with Point Break. I think he's great.
Oh yeah,
He's
absolutely. But this role by Keanu is like, this is the one that everyone says, yeah, it's Keanu. That's like the epitome.
This
of
is where it
Keanu.
started.
Oh no, Kung Fu.
Hey,
That's where he became who he is.
here's a fun
No
tidbit
way.
who
for
he
you.
was.
Point
And
Break.
who he will be.
Point Break wouldn't exist without Bill and Ted.
It would not.
I said it.
Is that
That's a fact. That's a
Would,
fact.
would Matrix not exist without Bill and Ted?
No,
Fucking yeah.
So you're saying this is what boosted his stardom? This is what started his stardom?
I'm saying this is what created Keanu Reeves. He was an
Absolutely.
enigma, and then he became.
Bodie, I just
Keanu
gotta
Reeves.
do this. You go out there, Bodie. You gotta take you in. One more wave, Johnny. One more wave.
Whoa.
Another fun person that was in this movie, Kylie Minogue, called this film her worst career move ever.
Wait.
This is the second time we've talked about Biodome being the worst career move.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
And I have not
Yeah.
seen it. What a
And
coincidence.
did Kylie Minogue make a better movie than this?
I have no idea. I have to check
Kylie
that.
Minogue,
Fuck is Kylie
IMDb.
Minogue? I wish I had IMDb on my phone. I'll just twiddle my thumbs right here.
She's beautiful, by the way.
She is a
Wait.
beautiful...
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
She was in another movie that is amazing.
Blade?
How about a Jean-Claude Van Damme flick?
Oh, what are we talking here, bub?
Sonic Boom!
What?
Street Fighter. She played Cammy in 1994
Not
Street
seen
Fighter,
that
live
movie
action
either.
by Jean-Claude Van Damme. Jean-Claude.
You know, I'm a film nerd in my hometown, and I've not seen any of these movies.
Yeah, because Grand Haven, Michigan still has a movie gallery and or Blockbuster that is out of date
Video
fucking wish they
Wonderland.
did.
between 1980 and 1995,
If that's
which
what-
means you're missing everything from 96 on.
So I only watch things pre-birth.
Yes.
So I'm
what I
looking
love
through
playing with.
Kylie's IMDb, and I don't see anything at the
Moulin Rouge.
caliber of Biodome or Street Fighter.
Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, like I said, I don't see anything of the caliber of Street Fighter and Biodome.
She was in
Voulez coucher avec moi? How's it
No,
going? Ce soir?
voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
San Andreas with The Rock.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah,
Tight.
she's in that.
Tight.
That's a big blockbuster move. That was her move to undo Biodome. She's like, it's been so many years and I've been trying to fix my fuck up. So I decided to be in a picture with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Whoa. She was in Stephen Hawking's new voice, Comic Relief. Not sure what that is, but
What is that?
Stephen Hawking, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Stephen Hawking.
I'll miss you.
Oh, wait, this
You know what would be
kinda
crazy? Wait. You know what would be really crazy? I know this is a little outside and maybe this is a little disrespectful, but like the things we're trying to quantify, the ideas, scientific things, the universe things we're trying to figure out in our, our planet and beyond, aliens and shit, spirits that we talked last week, are so, out of our realm, but they were so in his realm. That could have been literally our we should look up to that guy. We should look up to Stephen Hawking. He's literally
I thought you were
dude.
talking about Pauly Shore this whole time.
And I would agree with both of those.
they're both our legacy.
So Stephen Hawking's new voice, Comic Relief. Stephen Hawking has had the same trademark voice for 30 years and has now decided it's time for a change. Watch him view the audition tapes from hopeful celebrities.
Wait, his voice has been the same?
Yeah, so I guess he describes
His computer voice?
What?
he describes audition tapes from celebrities in his, Hawking voice. I don't know. Is that like
Computer-generated?
his computer?
It's
yeah.
got to be like a parody video.
Man, this is
A
bearing his
parody.
name though. Trying to do some edgy stuff there at the end of his life.
Yeah, it's
That's
wild.
pretty cool.
Do you really think that humans? I know. There's a lot of. It's a hot subject. Humans are purposely or
Yes.
fucking up the world, the nature, the natural order things.
Absolutely.
Absolutely not,
100%.
in my opinion. Absolutely
Oh,
not.
what?
Purposely?
Either.
I think a lot of people are. Like,
Some people
something
don't
is-
care and they don't get what they're doing. I
Well, it's
think.
like smoking cigarettes. It tells you over and over and
Yeah.
over again, like, hey,
That's true.
this is going to fuck you up and also the environment. So don't be an asshole.
yeah.
People
Stop
keep
it.
smoking cigarettes.
It's addiction. A lot of people
Yeah.
say, I didn't see a dinosaur when I was a kid. My son's not gonna see a polar bear. I don't give a shit.
I don't know what the hell you just said, Johnny.
I'm saying-
I heard the words polar bear, kid, and that's it.
Dinosaur.
Polar
I'm
bears are
saying-
extinct right now, Johnny.
I never saw a dinosaur.
Watch your lips.
Are they really?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Well,
they're
all.
endangered.
I literally.
They're endangered.
Yeah, I literally
Did I say
saw.
extinct? Oh, my
yeah,
bad.
No, I'm saying I never saw a dinosaur when I was a kid. My kids aren't gonna see a polar bear. That's a joke. But I'm
You've seen
saying
lots of lizards. You've seen lots of birds.
I
You've
think
seen
people have-
Have you seen an
alligators and
alligator?
crocodiles.
people have the mentality. Oh, dinosaurs. Okay.
Well, alligator
It's
is
a dinosaur.
actually technically a dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, it's actually pronounced alligator.
Alligator. Well, I'm saying is that
alligator.
I think people at a certain level are like, it's not gonna affect me when I'm dead. So fuck it.
Yeah, and I understand that point of view.
But you're saying humans don't purposely or do purposely.
I would say overall, like the human race
Yeah.
does not purposely screw the world up. I mean, there was a time when we were a very small part of the world and we were very insignificant to like
We still
the
are.
everyday happenings. Yeah, we're still fairly insignificant in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, we do see that we're changing the world. But we have not been. I mean, this is very fringe, guys.
No, I like this.
Like I don't have a solid opinion on like global warming. Is it happening? Is it not happening?
Yeah.
There's tons of science that supports both sides.
I've seen that, yeah.
But like we live for such a short amount of time.
Why be a dick?
Why be a dick? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why be a fucking
No,
dick?
that
Do you
meant
really need to pollute, litter, and all this shit? Like, who wants to kill an animal for no reason? You know, like who wants to see polar bears just
Apparently,
extinct?
the people in Ohio, because they fucking killed those raccoons.
Yeah.
Fucking Ohio. Youngstown, Young Smith, Youngshire, wherever
So
you fucking place
we're
is.
exiling like
We don't
1,000
care about
cities.
you,
Stop
Ohio.
naming cities. We're gonna like get pissed off.
We got blacklisted in
Yeah.
several parts. Certainly
Yeah.
not Grand Haven, Michigan, though.
No, Grand
we
Haven,
are-
Michigan.
They would.
They
never
welcome us with open
Shouts
arms.
out. So hear me out. What if, all right? Now we're talking hypotheticals here.
Hypothetical.
What if Biodome was perceived as a 5% stoner, stupid comedy, but actually had a lot to say? Because the movie opens with both Pauly Shore's character and the Baldwin boy sitting in their apartment or house, and it's just trash. There's trash everywhere. There's cans. There's all this stuff. And this is back in 1996. This is when people didn't know what gluten-free even meant.
Right. Yeah.
I don't
Or
even-
even like
What is-
veganism.
still don't
Where's
know
that
what it is.
planet?
Like you could, if like for a vegan to find a vegan restaurant, it was tough. Like you had to be in one of two places.
Yeah.
That was New York or LA.
Right, yeah.
So for a movie in 1996 to be this progressive and come off as so stupid, I think stupid comedies were selling in the 90s. We got movies like Tommy Boy. We got
Yeah.
movies like Black Sheep. We got Biodome. We got In the Army Now. We got these stupid 90s comedies, but that was selling at the point.
Right.
So going back to the beginning of the podcast, when we talk about the commercialization of this, what if the concept was to shed light on these two dumb characters and show them as the common American person? People who don't care about society. They don't
Ignorant.
care about anything. They're ignorant people who are blind to everything around them, the beauty that is our big blue planet. So this whole movie was essentially a PSA saying, don't be these two people.
Yeah. Wake the fuck up.
Wake up. Stop being such an asshole.
Wake me up inside. Save me.
This is a bad time for Evanescence reference. But it's all, the whole movie's a PSA saying, like, guys, like, just don't be an asshole. Like, and the only way that we can show you that is to put it in the form
You can
of a
understand.
stupid comedy.
You can
Right.
understand.
Because
That
if
a
we
lot of
told
people
you,
at
you
the time
wouldn't
could
listen.
relate to.
Right.
And I think that's
Yeah.
probably right. Like, you think about the people, you know, at the time or at any time in history, like, you know, post 60s and 70s, like, you know, the people who want to make the change, you know, who are willing to like picket and stuff like that. They're young 20s,
Right.
with the alternate lifestyles. They're the vegans. They're, you know, saving animals, saving the planet. That's like the right, dare I say, stoners. Like that's the group would probably respond to environmental issues. Perfect group to, you know, take a stab at. You know, young in their life at a time when it's like, man, I need to make a decision with my life. I need to start doing maybe I need to start doing something important. You know, and in the movie, you know, they are very ignorant in the beginning of the movie.
Right.
You know, they're just stoner dudes looking for some purple sticky punch. And then all of a sudden they wind up in this thing. They
purple
cause
sticky
all
punch
these
weed.
troubles. What?
Purple sticky punch weed.
Do your own research, Johnny.
All right. That's another
Save it for another. That's another episode.
Yeah, that's a whole
memes,
nother
guys.
episode, a whole nother can of sweet shit.
They're saving.
So these guys, you know, they're in the biodome. They fuck it up. Like they become the issue.
Well, they
in
realize they're
this
the
biodome.
problem.
They realize it though.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, the turning point is the party that they threw with Tenacious D. That's
Yep.
the turning point. Tenacious D, they throw this badass party because what do they want to save the dome? They want to do something. They have something good in mind. They fuck up. They throw a party. It trashes this place.
Yeah.
And so
it
it's
throws
like
off all the ecosystem stuff.
That's-
throws it up. Everyone's pissed at them. Not that they liked them to begin with.
That sounds like society. That's like what's happening.
Right. But
Like,
these guys,
yeah.
they flip the script and they say, "Damn, dude, we see what we're doing.
Yeah, we're idiots.
You know, we're idiots, man. We gotta fix this place." So it's like big cleaning montage. We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends
Oh my God, the
behind.
safety dance, man, when they're dancing
Yeah.
around. That's the
The
song.
safety dance is in that movie too.
Not only is
I
the
tell
safety
you
dance
what.
in the movie,
I love that
a
song.
midget wearing the same clothes as in
As
the
the
video
midget
is
in the- oh my
movie.
gosh.
For no reason, he just shows up.
That's a great song.
But the
A little person.
The problem is, yes.
Yeah, vertically
Little
challenged.
person. The problem is that this movie, God, Biodome is a lot smarter than I thought. The thing is that this movie is fiction. And these two idiot characters in a perfect world coming around and going, you know what? We are the problem. Let's fix it. The Biosphere 2, bringing me back to that, it failed because the people wouldn't stop and realize they were the problem. And these are probably some of the most intelligent people who were like living in like Avatar.
Right.
You got,
They call these people astronaut level scientists.
Yeah.
They were, they need to be able to go in space. Like they're very physically fit people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very smart, very trained. Yeah. Ready. Ready for it.
And even they couldn't stop and go, you know what, Randy? You're the fucking problem, bub.
Yeah.
You're the problem.
Like, I can't get over Randy's fucking BO in whatever square footage we have.
Right.
Like, that's the issue or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like, dude chews loudly or something.
Lewis keeps
we're talking very
chain-smoking
simple issues,
cigarettes
probably.
in the damn terrarium.
And the biodome.
It's so weird to me that they have all these problems in it. But how big is this biodome, by the way?
This biodome is big. Not sure how big the one in Biodome actually is, because it was an actual set. It didn't take place in Biosphere 2,
But, like,
which it should
the idea,
have.
how big would it have been? Just give me a rough estimation.
Let me
We
see
can
here.
give you
We
the
got
exact-
some. Yeah, we got some stuff here.
Well, okay.
Because we're talking about the biosphere. The thing is, if this were a hypothetical, it would be one thing. If Biodome was a completely original movie, it would be a hypothetical. But the idea that coming into this, I thought Biodome was just a clever idea for comedy. And
Right.
that, sure, it might have been. But the fact that Biosphere 2 existed, it kind of defeats the hypothetical in between because we have something to pull to. So the size of Biosphere 2 is the...
This thing's pretty big.
Yeah.
It was divided up into, let's see.
How many different types of
Well,
nature?
there's 7 biomes is what they say.
Okay.
It consisted of a 20,000 square foot rainforest,
Yep.
9,100 square foot ocean with a coral reef,
What?
4,800 square foot mangrove wetland,
The swamps.
1,400
Sand
square
swamps.
foot savanna or grassland, a 1,500 square foot fog desert,
What? Wait, where is? I don't know what that is.
and then a dedicated agricultural area,
Yeah.
agricultural dome, and then like a habitat area
So
with all the facilities and
roughly, I didn't
the
do math in my head.
laboratories.
That's a lot of room. How many?
Pretty, I didn't
scientists-
add that up. Yeah, I don't know.
How many scientists you said?
I'm not sure how many scientists
Okay,
were in
well,
there total.
well,
let's
my
find
point
that
I
out.
want to get to is that we have this many people in that big of an area having problems and fighting with each other or whatever. Fuck you, Randy. But astronaut-ready people, they spend, in the International Space Station 24/7 with each other in close quarters. They strap their legs up to their backs and they're able to sleep in a sitting position. They have to pee in a bag. They have to poop out of the literally out of the airlock. Those kind of things happen. They don't. I mean, I don't think they do, but they don't go fucking bananas like this happened.
Right. I mean, these people had apparently 27,000 square feet of the agriculture and
How do you
human habitat
fuck
stuff.
that up?
And it says here there are 8 scientists.
You
in
could
there.
literally go.
That's a lot of space.
8 scientists, seven different.
Yeah,
okay.
areas.
Each one could go to a different part of this.
and be totally alone.
40
Yeah.
acres.
They would never 40 acres.
That's
They-
how big this thing, and it's still operating
Ooh,
today.
wow.
They could walk all toward each other, not see each other probably for hours. Maybe that's overestimating or exaggerating. What I'm saying is that they don't.
They lose somebody, and Randy's in the woods. They're like, "Where's guys? We lost Randy."
He goes rogue.
He's in
He's
a
a wild
tree.
man.
He's like, ah! He looks down. He's got a spear. He's like, "Me and you, Bethany. Me and you."
right now.
Johnny, that is actually what happens in the fucking movie. The head scientist goes fucking nuts,
Yep.
goes rogue, leaves the group, goes crazy. He's hiding out. He's doing all these crazy things. He's sabotaging things, and he ends up being the bad guy in the movie that Bud and Doyle, our 2 main characters, have to battle. And in the process, they get the rest of the team back on their side, and they work together to battle this evil scientist and destroy the laboratory. They don't destroy
What
the
a
laboratory.
great all
Just wanted to say
encompassing
laboratory.
story. That's a
It
great
is a really good
life
story.
lesson. You gotta work together. Fuck you, Randy.
I mean, there's a
But
moral
that's
to
the
it. Yeah.
solution.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think, and that's why, we're talking about Biodome, and it's ridiculous. But
Yeah.
the solution is that we do have to work together. And at the end of the day, if we're going to make our planet a better place, if we are going to colonize Mars, if we are going to do all these things, we got to work together. And
Got to
we're
get
not.
over the simple shit.
Yeah.
you know?
Stop being selfish.
Right.
That's
Don't be selfish.
That's a big part of it. in colonialization, way back when I don't have a date for you because I don't have a computer in front of me, but it originally like the whole the sharing of wealth, bread, agriculture, all those things, those goods were split equally between colonial people. I sound stupid as hell right now.
Settlers.
But only until people got greedy.
Pilgrims.
The pilgrims.
Only until people got greedy do we have to split it up in different portions. You're like, you do this much work, you do this much food. And that's how we essentially got into our system of our society.
You know who got greedy? Christopher Columbus. He did it.
Chris Colum.
Technically.
Fun fact. My grandpa did our genealogy like so detailed. Not even from like genealogy.com or whatever. Like he did like paper trail.
You just sound like a blood sample of himself.
He did, yeah. Like he did real research. There's a whole like folder, like not folder. There's a whole file cabinet full of like our genealogy shit. We go all the way back to the Mayflower, dog.
What?
All the way back, dude.
Mayflower?
I'm a ridge, man.
Okay,
really?
I'm in a ridge.
What was it like?
What was it like? Well, back when I was a kid in the Mayflower. What do you mean?
The year was 1643. The Mayflower was awful cold this season.
I believe it ended in a 2 because Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
In 1942.
It did.
1942. 1942.
He found the settlers and decided to offer him some bread. The settler took the bread, took a little niblet, and said, "Fuck you, Christopher Columbus."
That's not what I was saying.
He said, "Fuck you, I'm taking a bread, here's some corn."
That's not what I was saying, but...
Get that corn out of my face.
Get that corn out of my face.
Corn out of my face.
So what I'm getting at is that these people got greedy, and if we could essentially, as a society, as a world, could be not greedy, is what you're saying, then we could make, Mars, Titan, one of Jupiter's, I think maybe Saturn's moons, I don't remember, habitable. We could actually make, but if we're greedy,
Titan, Jupiter moon, I think. Is that Jupiter moon? I don't know.
It's a moon of a different
planet.
Yeah, in our solar system.
Celestial body in our solar system.
On that planet, all the water is methane, and it's I think it's so cold. Oh my gosh, I forgot my facts are messed up. Regardless, it's not habitable, but it is a liquid form, like one of the only liquid form like planets in our solar system besides Mars. Way back when it had water. Moving on.
Okay.
Hey, Mars still has water.
It way down.
Way down.
Yeah,
Do you
It's
know,
visible on the
what
surface, though.
What lives under the surface?
No.
It's water people.
Water people.
That's why they don't send anyone to Mars because they're afraid of water people. They're for the shape of water dude.
It's the shape of water dude. That's where he originated from.
We don't want a movie.
You got him from Mars.
That's actually so
Guillermo
funny.
del Toro actually captured a water person from Mars,
A Martian?
Brought him back.
from deep in the crust. And that's why that movie won an Oscar.
That's the reason why.
It's the only reason. I tell you that much.
So, like, how many movies do we know of where, like, the main moral plot or whatever, or like device that they use in the movie is how does this group of people act in a seemingly claustrophobic environment, even if it's not truly a small space?
It's a social experiment.
Yeah, social experiment, like even like a Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Like it boils down to that.
really
like
good
they're
example.
technically in a claustrophobic space, even though they're in a wide open world.
Well, claustrophobic because like anywhere around them could kill them.
They got to stick together.
Yeah, I'm more claustrophobic if I think something's killing me than if I'm in a closed space because it's not technically life threatening.
Well, that's the crazy part.
No one's ever tried to kill me. I don't know what it feels like.
Not yet.
It's the idea when like you're on an airplane and there's something about it that feels okay. Like you don't feel claustrophobic as shit. Like it just feels okay. But the claustrophobia really comes in when you're like you feel trapped or helpless, and I think that's the problem. Where do I want someone to colonize Mars? Absolutely. Do I want like a biosphere to make it up there? Absolutely. But even when people say they're prepped and ready to do it, and they're capable, I don't think a human being can feel A, so far from our home planet, and B, in this dome, that they know if one thing goes wrong, if there is a puncture, a hole, if something goes wrong, they are all dead.
Well, in The Martian, oh man, who's the lead actor?
Matt Damon.
And in that
Matt
movie,
Damon.
everything was going so well. He was like essentially in his own biodome, his own bio, like
Absolutely, yeah.
He was surviving, making poop potatoes,
Potato poop.
poop potatoes,
Poop potatoes.
and poop potatoes with ketchup. He runs out of ketchup. Sorry, I'll spoil it there. Well, what I'm saying is that one puncture, one rock, one thing goes wrong in the airlock in the airlock, and it's not supposed to happen this way, but it actually flips that whole entire section. That wouldn't really happen, but it flips it, breaks it, and all the poop potatoes die.
Right.
One dude not trying to fuck it up But
Right,
imagine
yeah.
all these people being selfish. They're gonna fuck it up.
They're gonna fuck
yeah.
it up. Yeah, there's nothing they can do about
But
it. They're eventually gonna
paranoia
fuck
like
it
would
up.
set in and everything too. Like
Outside's
you,
death.
You have a crew of like 9 people, then they all start getting paranoid.
Right.
Like they're sitting at dinner. One of them looks over the other one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I feel you looking at me.
Like, I
What
know
have I
you've been
done?
eating more than me.
Yeah.
Because one of these things,
What
one
are
of
you
the
taking
experiments
at
with this is a very controlled diet.
Right.
Super low caloric intake, a lot of
This
nutrients.
is such like Matt. This is real stats on this episode.
real fucking stats. People.
Yeah.
You're saying real caloric diet.
Yeah, so imagine, like, I mean, you're angry because you're hungry all the time.
I'm hangry, dude.
You know,
So
you're
would you call
hangry,
that
yeah,
a spacetarian?
you're-
Is that what you call it? Is that what you call that diet?
I mean, if they had some Snickers on board, they'd be all right.
I could totally imagine being. Yeah, you need the Snickers. I can only imagine being in this biodome in a planet, hundreds of. I don't. A long way away from home. I don't have like the amount of.
Tens of 20s of miles from
this
planet
was
Earth.
in
A couple yards.
Oracle, Arizona.
So,
so
it's a
Earth.
long way away from Earth, and you're like, you're gonna get paranoid. Outside is death. The Randy across the table could kill you,
Right.
and the only thing keeping
He's
you
got that
alive
look in his eyes.
is each other. And if one of you turns, oh, dude, the human race would
Yeah.
fuck that up.
But also, think about it, let's say on Mars, not in Arizona. Let's say you're on Mars and it is just you and one other person. Maybe, let's just say one other person. I don't think that you would want to harm that other person for nothing. Like, you would want to have that's your,
You need
your
a support
only
system.
person. Yeah, support
Yeah.
system, man. That is your only person.
Passengers would disagree with you with Jennifer
Man,
Lawrence.
don't talk about
Because
passengers
they,
on this podcast.
They turned on each other. You don't like that?
I don't know if I've
That's
made
a
it clear, but I'm not
bullshit-ass
really a
movie.
J-Law guy. But whatever.
Don't tell me. Don't
I
you
like
even.
parts of it. If
You can't like parts of a movie.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't like parts of a movie.
You like parts of Greatest Showman.
I like the opening
You can like
number.
parts of a movie.
Yeah, but I don't like the movie.
That's fine. I like parts of Passengers.
Listen, I would connect to everybody. I would.
You would.
I would be.
Because you're not an asshole.
Well, I would be connect. Thanks, Johnny. I would.
You're welcome.
I would take everybody on that biosphere on Mars, and we'd all have a special connection. And I'd just be staring off into the great.
Great wide
Look into his
open.
eyes and
It
say
would
this with
be-
conviction.
It
please.
would be.
Oh, he's talking about my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'd stare
So
out.
we're on this planet together.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
watching
me and
Fuck
you.
yeah. All right.
And we're staring off into the great abyss, and we look down and we see Earth, just sitting there. And
Tiny little blue earth.
How do we reproduce?
I just want to tell you how I feel about it. And I can't put it into words. It's just like I got the whole world in my hands.
You're homesick. You are literally planet sick.
In his hand. Got the whole... Is this a Con Air segue?
I was thinking more like Rocket Man, classic Disney film.
Oh, dude.
I couldn't.
Okay. Perfect segue. Turns out that the Bill and Ted thing, just a rumor. It's been verified that was just a rumor.
What was?
That,
Oh, the script.
Yeah, that the script was not ever intended to be Bill and Ted 3. Who was the number one actor that was like in the running for this? Who they were reaching out for?
Mandela.
Harlan Williams.
Harlan Williams, brother.
What?
Wait
Wait a minute.
If
When
Harlan
did Rocket Man
Williams,
come out?
I'm gonna say 1998.
All right, let's
Seven.
see. Let's
1997.
see. 97. 1 year.
After
So
I
you're
was
telling
born.
me Harlan Williams. So they want Harlan for Biodome in 96.
They wanted him for Biodome. Think about Pauly Shore and Harlan Williams in that movie. Like, dude did great, but
Oh, it'd be insane.
Harlan is hilarious.
Oh, he's
Rocket
a
Man
legend.
was hilarious. John Jacob, John Jacob,
It's
John
so
Jacob.
I know that, but I don't know who
Jacob.
this guy is.
It's
Oddly enough, that is a very similar. There are some similar
Similarities?
very similar similarities between Rocket Man and Biodome. He gets locked into a rocket with what's supposed to be a mission to like deep space
Mhm.
on a rocket full of chimpanzees.
Oh.
And the chimpanzees are supposed to do these things throughout the whole thing. And there's a couple scientists on board as well.
MVP.
Harlan was the chimpanzee like trainer, like back at home base, in Houston or Florida, wherever they're at.
He was the-
yeah.
And I don't know if they decide to take him on or if he gets stuck in there.
No, he's he's really good at what he does.
Right.
Because he designs all the
He designed like a
space
landing system or
the
something
landing
like
system,
that.
yeah, for the Mars rover.
So they're like, this is the only guy who can do it. We got to get him on board. So I don't know if they're going to Mars or where, but it's like deep
Mars,
space. Yeah. So they're in like a cryo freeze during takeoff, right?
Yeah.
For like the whole trip. For some reason, he messes up and like his thing does not shut or whatever. So he just like goes to sleep and then like wakes up like after a normal night's sleep.
Kind of sounds like.
And then he's by himself for the whole trip, which is like a year or something or however long.
Yeah, because man, there's a great scene. I tell you what, one of the greatest gags in movie history. There's a scene where he's walking around with another great actor, and they're walking around on Mars, and they have to share a tube because one of the guys runs out of oxygen, and Harlan Williams keeps farting.
Oh wait,
and
I've
the
seen this
tube
scene.
starts inflating because it's great. It's actually accurate science if we're trying to talk.
That's what would happen
methane gas.
to an astronaut's suit. Yeah,
It would
filled
inflate.
with farts. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would inflate.
Because you're
the methane gas.
Well, because you're adding more volume of I guess air
methane to oxygen.
Well, you're just adding more to the suit essentially.
To the suit, yeah.
You're breathing in and out, and that's just
But you don't fart oxygen.
It's still
it's a gas.
Methane.
But it still has a I don't know what the
It's a
unit-
pollutant
unit of
in your
measurement
tiny
is-
little atmosphere,
there's
I would have to say.
There's no unit of measurement I'm trying to figure out, but like the quantity of gas.
Is there a unit
is,
of measurement for farts?
I'm sure. Well, like
Siri,
liters
is
of
there
air?
a unit of measurement for farts?
Liters of gas? What is it? Like it's got to be like it's not
Liters of gas?
pounds. It's not.
How do you get like
liters.
propane?
It's got to be metric. Oh wait, it's pounds per square inch of pressure. Oh man,
Yeah, it seems like it would be
Things like
pressure
that.
related. Yeah.
You're adding to your suit so it blows up. How do we
Totally.
get in this fart suit?
Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
How have we not gotten on a third
Hey,
suit
hey,
yet?
you wanna
We're
hear
already
something
in episode
crazy?
4.
A typical fart is composed of about 59% nitrogen.
I know this.
21% hydrogen, 9% carbon dioxide, 7% methane, and 4% oxygen.
7% methane.
Yeah, that's it. And then
That
they always
ain't
go,
nothing.
and methane, that's what's ruining the ozone. 7%.
Well, how much
of my
methane
farts.
is in a cow's fart?
Now check this out.
Is
Hang
it
on.
not?
Yeah,
Don't they
it's
say that's a
true.
problem?
Only 1% of farts contain hydrogen sulfide gas and mercaptanes.
Spell it out.
Those are egg
Mercaptans.
farts.
And mercaptanes, which contain sulfur, and the sulfur is what makes farts stink.
I believe that. I mean,
That's what they say.
no offense, I've driven to Florida quite a few times. I know what sulfur smells like.
Dude, Colorado
I'm not gonna lie.
Steamboat smells
As a
lot
little
like
kid,
sulfur.
I would like, I'm like asleep in the back seat on our drives to Florida,
Dad.
window down, and then it's like, oh God, we just crossed the state line. Hell
I'm in
yeah.
Florida now.
You smell it before you see the palm trees.
So
That's probably not
I
true,
don't
but-
agree with the whole farts fuck the ozone up. I don't agree with that. Let's just say that.
Farts?
Yeah.
Well, I
You
mean,
do?
9% of a fart is carbon dioxide. And how many people are on planet Earth?
No, that's fine. No.
Johnny, I swear to God, if you try to steer away from this great
I'm not.
piece
I'm not.
of investigation,
This is.
I think the
gonna aid
typical
you.
thought, though, is that
How many
it's
people-
cows' farts that are so bad for the atmosphere, not necessarily human.
But
how many people are on planet Earth?
7.6 billion. Oh man, 7.
Let's do some math.
I'm going to say
7.4 billion. I think.
I'm going to say 6.83 billion.
Currently,
7.4.
currently,
7.6.
there are 7.442 billion people
Jonathan
on this
takes the
blue
pie.
High five.
planet.
Smack skin.
So, whoa. Okay. So 7.442 billion times 9%. What's 9% of 7.422
Oh, let's in our heads do this.
billion?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea.
I forgot both numbers already.
Say it's like somewhere around 100 million.
Let's do
7% of what?
0.9
100 million.
times
I don't have a
7.442.
calculator. What's 10% of
Seven.
We're talking
7.4?
0.66978.
what?
Forgot the number already.
Liters?
Billion.
0.76. So what is that? 700 million?
So a little under 1 billion % of people farting.
I don't.
Or sorry,
I
1 billion %
dude.
of farts.
You're going really hard trying to make this work. I see where you're going with
The
this.
bottom line
If
is
we have a
7.442
mathematician out there listening right now who can
billion people.
quantify the level of
Don't
farts
believe the math.
by the human race and how many of those farts contain Sulfuric methane.
which is fine. But
Get back to
you
us.
said the carbon dioxide.
HYBRO.
But if 7.442 billion people farted at the same time,
Oh my
if
god!
all of them at one time, like if someone
one
did
time?
What a sound!
Jeez, the Earth would probably implode.
It would, because 9% of that's
Oh my
carbon dioxide, the Earth would be fucked.
Dude,
A, the Earth would either move, implode, or the atmosphere would just be poofed away.
organic matter
Guys,
takes
this is-
all our carbon dioxide.
We've really
and
been, I feel like the podcasts have performed a lot better than I ever anticipated they would. This is when the decline starts happening.
The decline could set in. You know, whatever. The same people who are, giving Pauly Shore's movies, 6s and 10s on Rotten Tomatoes
Are
would be
probably
the
going to
same
give us a
buttholes who
1.
don't care about our fart talk.
Yeah.
So screw those guys.
So this brings me back. So, okay, all this fart talk I'm going to try to justify here. It wasn't just for my own sick enjoyment. I want to talk about the biosphere too. All right? I want to talk about how many people were in that biosphere. And I want to talk about how many of them were farting in that biosphere.
100% of them. Nick.
Exactly.
100%.
Would that throw off if you contain that much, even in 40 acres?
Right. So
would you be throwing off the ozone?
I would think so, certainly. But I think one of the parts of these experiments was how strenuous their diet was, and I'm sure, hopefully, they took that into account. Like, I guess they weren't eating as much fruit as maybe they typically would. I don't know. But they were. I would imagine they're probably eating.
fruit makes
not-
you fart more.
Right. Yeah. So probably eating less fruit.
Hmm.
I don't know.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't know necessarily if this film made a contribution onto the way people believe or want to treat the Earth. I think at the end of the day, we just stop being assholes, start working together, and regardless if global warming is real or not, the way we improve anything, whether it's agriculture, whether it's like industry, whatever it is, natural or not, this podcast or something else, teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah. Teamwork makes the
Yeah,
dream
there's
work.
one
That's a
thing
good
we've
point.
all learned today. We have each other, right? And that's
got each
important
other.
because without each other, there's only one of us. And without one of us, there's none of us. Therefore,
Zero is the lowest number.
Well, nobody be in your hand, baby.
Oh,
you
yeah,
and
yeah.
me.
Yep.
Yeah.
We gotta be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little something, so something.
Yeah.
Little something, so hearty.
That was nice.
Thanks.
guys, you got anything else? Because I feel like
Yeah, I
feel like that's such a solid ender. I feel good. Taylor, do you feel gratified, satisfied, and even a bit aroused by all of the coverage of this topic of fiction meets
guys,
reality?
When we're talking Pauly Shore movies, I'm at a constant semi. So, yeah, I was aroused.
Great. And I feel,
great.
when we started this, I didn't think that we would go all the way from Biodome. You know what? That's a lie.
You
If
knew
we're
we were-
starting
you knew we were
Biodome, I
going
knew we were
somewhere.
going to end on farts. I
Without a
mean,
doubt. Is this not the biggest Dutch oven you've ever
Oh
seen?
my god!
I have ever seen.
That is the biggest Dutch oven.
Wait, is that a quote from the movie?
No, that was a Ace Ventura reference.
Of course it is.
Yep.
Now
he,
let's
he
talk
found Captain Winky.
comedic legend.
Oh man,
Oh, what a guy!
probably one of the greatest actors of all time. Not just in comedy.
Because he's got range.
Range, incredible range, incredible range.
Yeah, and if we're talking about range, guys, if you thought for 3 episodes you were getting the same thing over and over with us, we're gonna try to give you a little range.
Skirt, think again, people.
Yeah, we're gonna try to give you something a little bit different on occasion. We're gonna do well-researched episodes, but we're also gonna do episodes that are based on the hypotheticals of films, television,
Our minds,
Farts.
really.
our minds.
That's all I
Farts.
have. That's all I have.
And I think that's important. And I think, guys, if we can keep you engaged, entertained, and a little excited, we've done our job.
I'm excited.
So, if you got a hypothetical you want us to talk about or a thought you'd like to share about today's episode, good news. We teased it last week, but today I'm going to give you the exact pieces of information you need to reach out to us. You can shoot us an email at our brand new email, sponsored by gmail.com. It's hybrothoughts@gmail.com. If you didn't guess it was at gmail.com,
Well, it is.
Oh, it is.
I'm worried about you.
Can you spell it out, Nick?
You can
H-
email it. You can send it.
Yeah.
You can post it.
You can even
Yeah,
chat
you-
with
you
us because
can
we're
post
all
on
on
this
it.
email.
You can actually, if we're on at the same time with modern technology, you can actually have a conversation with us
It's
and we'll
video-
respond.
Video chat.
Technology, the new album by Don Broco.
It's
Check
great.
it out now.
It's a great
Check
album,
that out
too.
as well. Good plug. Hybrothoughts@gmail.com. HYBRO thoughts.com. That's HYBRO thoughts@gmail.com.
Rolls
That's
off the tongue.
.com, people.
Dot
.com, baby.
GMAIL
Not gov.
Mm-hmm.
Not web.
gmail.com. So
off
who
the
knows,
tongue.
guys? Maybe your hypothetical will be featured on next week's episode. If you want us to also talk about a hypothetical from a piece of modern or past entertainment, please, we'll talk about it. We talked about The Exorcist last week. We talked about Biodome this week. Guys, nothing is off the table.
Literally nothing. We can talk about anything. Well, we literally physically can talk about anything you. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
as long as the hypotheticals are there and in place, we're good.
Forever.
Solid?
All I need is you. You is all I need.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening to yet another one of our crazy episodes. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's still happening.
What number is this?
This is number 4.
It's tight.
Feels like 400.
It does feel like 400. Let's not stop here. Let's keep going.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Never stop. So with that being said,
We're going to stop for today.
I'm Nick.
I'm Taylor.
I'm Johnny.
Guys, thank you again so much. We couldn't do this without you, and we appreciate all of the listens and the comments on the Facebooks and all that stuff. And we can't wait to see the comments on the Google machine. So, guys, thank you so much, and we will see you, hear you, and feel you again next week.
Email us at Hybrothetical
Hypotheticalthinking.com.
Hybrothoughts@gmail.com.
Ah, fuck!
That's what it was. Hybrothoughts.